But I want you to be able to understand that we are deep within the New Testament. A lot of things within Hebrews should have already been established. You should already know or should already have understood through Romans or even through the Gospels all the way up to this point. And if you don't bring all that information with you, you're not going to get the whole story. I talked about that earlier. Having all the information tell me the whole story. If you don't have the information, you're not going to have the whole story. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to give you a lot of information when it comes to the whole story. All right. Chapter 1. It says, God who at sundry times and in diverse manners, that is many ways, spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days, meaning in the New Testament era, spoken unto us by his Son, whom he has appointed heir of all things, or heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. Now, when it says the worlds, first thing, oh man, let's talk about, planets and things of that nature. No, it's not talking about planets. It's talking about when he said made the worlds with the S. Remember I told you that when it comes to the letter of Hebrews, they have the end game in mind. They already have given you hints to what's to come. I'm going to show you exactly where this is going. If you go to Hebrews 13 and 8, he's already trying to establish this right here. Verse 7 and 8. It says, remember them which have the rule over you, who have spoken unto you the word of God, whose faith follow, considering the end of their conversation. That word conversation means behavior. It says, who faith follow. Then the next verse says, Jesus Christ the same yesterday and today and forever. The reason why this is a warning to say, hey, even though people are going to be preaching and teaching the Bible, pay attention to them. They always say, whose faith follow. Make sure you pay attention to their behavior. Why? Because there are going to be a lot of people talking about Jesus Christ. And he said, Jesus Christ the same yesterday, today, and forever, meaning that standard of righteousness, that standard of obedience, that standard of doing God's will above your own will. And he's already tried to establish that in chapter 1 when he says that by whom also he made the worlds. He's already looking in the distant future and establishing those different eras, those different generations. Once we go into chapter 11, you'll see the word worlds again, and you'll see that just talking about different ages. It's not talking about, some different planets and all that. 11, 1 and 2 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Remember them elders. Through faith we understand that the worlds, with the S, were framed by the word of God, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Abel was doing the will of God. We're going to go to Enoch. Enoch's testimony was framed by the word of God. These are two different generations. Those are two different worlds. Those are two different ages. Noah, whole different world. Abraham, whole different world. Jacob, whole different world. Isaac, whole different world. Joseph, whole different world. Moses, whole different world. Gideon, Barak, Samson, David, Jephthah, Samuel, whole different world. The only common denominator when it comes to all those different ages is, guess what? Everybody following the word of God. Each one of those generations, you see that they was doing the will of God and they was establishing standards, but none of those standards are better or higher or more precious or more perfect than the standard of Jesus Christ.